This is our nutrition level 1. We've been waiting for ages to bring this course out because we've been waiting for this to be the place to do it, our HQ. This course, with it being level 1, addresses the foundational elements of nutrition coaching. That being said, it takes the coaches through the detail that they need to layer over further detail further down the line. So it's not elementary, it's foundational. Foundational as in it's the basis of everything else that will come up on top of it. With that in mind, we're going to be talking to and challenging the concepts around calories and macros being the forerunner or the first thought in the nutrition coach's mind, and why that shouldn't be the case and why coaches are struggling with their prescriptions of those things, and indeed their clients are struggling with the outcome on the other side. We're going to be challenging those misconceptions. We're going to be talking about the relationship that the client has not only with the coach but also with food, how we develop that, how we refine and find their personalized food profile. We're also then going to be putting that into practice on day 2, where the course becomes particularly practical. There we'll be going through case studies, we'll be walking the coaches through how this is going to play out, how all the theory and philosophy that takes place in day 1 plays out in reality, what they can keep in their back pocket, what should be communicated with clients and what shouldn't, all that good stuff that hopefully will help them in their prescriptions and their delivery of nutrition coaching, and then ultimately help their clients with the outcomes on the other side. So you have ID, and within that is values, intention, which drives our attention. Let me just explain these. Who we are and what's deep-seated in our minds as to what we value in life shape our intentions. Think about when you get up in the morning and the steps that you take after that. So the direction in which you travel, which is your intention, is driven by a set of values that we don't give any thought, it's subconscious. But they're the reasons why we do the thing. When we've got our direction, then we're looking at a certain set of things. It shapes our attention. So what we can see and what we're paying attention to. So the direction drives the attention. The attention then drives our perception, to the lens through which we look at the world, which is different for us all. What we perceive then and what our lens is shapes our sense of meaning. What is meaningful? And again, that's different to us all, because all our lenses are different. All our lenses are different because we pay attention to different things. We pay attention to different things because of what our intention is going into the world. What our intention is going into the world is shaped by our value structure. The meaning then drives action. Why it makes sense for us to do something. From action then, and this is the key piece, we understand. We understand through doing. We understand through embodying. Because up until this point, this is all just thought. So in order for the meaning to become real, we need to put it into the real world. We need to take steps. We need to do something physical. We need to embody it. Because at that point then, when we've moved and grooved and felt it, and felt the thing that we've proposed, but up with the real world, do we get some feedback? And that's where we understand. How good was that? When we get the feedback as to how good that was, then that can reshape our values. Did that make sense or did that not? Did that align, did that not? That education piece comes in and around here. When we're educating our clients, this is where we meet them. We meet them here in what they're paying attention to. This is an awareness piece. Once we've increased their awareness, it changes what's meaningful to them. So now you're thinking, whatever you're trying to give to Sam probably carries less meaning. What I was hearing from before was there was more meaning in the way that you did it. So your meaning shifted now. So then the way that you take action is going to change. So you're not going to say, Sam, for fuck's sake. Now you're going to go, Sam, tell me a little bit more about that. Now you understand better because Sam's probably going to give you an answer that you were actually looking for in the first place rather than what you were getting. Comes all the way back and round. Values start to shift a little bit. So now you value the macros and calories and the more prescriptive way of dealing with food less, which upgrades your intentions going into the next encounter, which leads us back to then our chat in the PFCA of increase awareness to upgrade intention. Whilst that's a nice simple phrase, what we mean is actually much broader than that. And it's a psychological loop of how we encounter the world. Nutrition hierarchy. How in our language do we manage stress? World-class basics. Stress management. Now, within world-class basics, we've got big 3, purpose, balance, rhythm, daily, hydration, movement, sunlight, port, digestion, food hygiene. We've got these things to work on. They all sit in here. These things are the foundation of the nutrition hierarchy. They're not at the bottom because they're the least meaningful or the least important. They're at the bottom because they support everything else. Health is the foundation, 100%. This then can be your education, and that might be your calories, macros. Then goal specific, and then performance, That can be that direction when all's going well. But you'll know this, just your intuition. You're in a goal specific goal, everything's going well. Life serves you a curveball. Stress goes high, perhaps sleep drops off, whatever else. Something goes wrong. What needs to be the focus? Go back that way. Does that seem counterintuitive that we start nutrition coaching away from nutrition? Does that seem a bit weird? We've got a finite bandwidth. If we're here up to our eyeballs in stresses from work, relationships, food, environment, finances, whatever, how much capacity do we have for any change? Nada. What's required in order to drive adaptation? Recover from challenge. As coaches, I back us to find great challenge. But if they haven't got the capacity for it or to recover from it, doesn't matter. It's going to be the thing that tips them over the edge. Trying to push that limit is inherently stressful. So then, these changes don't come easy. So we need capacity for them. We have to consider that. So how do we make capacity? Manage it. Stress management. Do we need to manage some of these things? Think about the nurture piece. Remember the picture at the start? What was at the bottom? Behaviors. That's this. That's these. We're aiming to try and buy some capacity. Also in here might be sleep, rhythm, purpose. So can we start to get rid of these things? Can we manage them? Can we manage sleep? Are finances in our core? Is there environment in our core? Is food in our core? Is rhythm in our core? Relationship, work. You can see how all these things can be part of the conversation that we're having with our clients. Are we going to solve all these things? Do we have to fix them? No. Can we create space for them to find their own solutions? Yes. A problem shared is a problem halved. We do know that by creating space for these conversations, it helps them understand them. It helps them organize their thoughts, in which case they might start to do something about them. In which case then they might start to reduce the amount of stress that they're carrying around every day. In which case then, what does that open the door to? Change. We need to create the capacity for it first. In which case, we need to manage our behaviors. So we need to be thinking about all these things. Does it make sense as to where we're up to now? You can see why it would sound weird, and why when I actually asked you about my goals before, everything that you spoke about was directly at the outcome. We're going to do this and we're going to do the other, without thinking about actually creating the space for adaptation, because that's the key. That's the critical piece. In which case we need to manage what we call world-class basics.